Hello, chat. Today, I'm going to be yapping about Unit 8 of AP World History, aka the Cold War. Okay, let's begin directly on the Cold War. Okay, so the Cold War, obviously, was a major war between Russia and America. Although there were no actual combats that were held between directly Russia and America, there were many other combats that can be found and linked directly to it. For example, some conflicts found in Africa that were supported by each side, either communist or American. I forgot what they're called. I'm not gonna lie. Would like cause the other global powers to get stressed, specifically Russia and America. Uh, this war started almost directly after World War II due to the result of the nuclear bombing of of Japan. Yes, that's the word I'm looking for. Although not directly caused by it in any way, shape, or form, it did have an effect on the fear of being a Russian citizen and the fear of how powerful America had gotten. Because after World War II, America was solidified as a powerhouse, a gigantic powerhouse that could not be ignored by any means necessary. With like just everything in general. They had nuclear weapons, and they were just at the top. They were at the top, basically. As a result, Russia feared America, and vice versa. So in order to not fall behind, they would go into a rapid industrialization rate. This can be found with items such as the space race or fuck. Hold on, my bad, chat. I'm locked in on Block Blast right now. Yeah, such as the space race or the I forgot what it's called, but I could tell it to you. The rapid spreading of their political belief in the areas that they were local in. For example, this can be found with Russia trying to spread communism to areas that were relatively close to Russia, such as China. China was a very, very important individual in the Cold War in terms of I just fucked up so bad in terms of being transported to communism. Some direct conflicts that were as a result. Well, that some not necessarily direct conflicts, but some major stressors of the Cold War can be found with an item called the Bay of Pigs. The Bay of Pigs was an incident between America and Russia where it was linked to the Cuban Missile Crisis due to Cuba being very close to America. Actually, let me search up the Bay of Pigs real quick. I don't remember. Yeah, okay. So the Cuban Missile Crisis caused a very large stressor in between America and Russia due to communism spreading directly to the coast of America, which is a very big threat, obviously, in the case of war. Where do I put this, dude? I zoned out and I'm like just selling so bad. I'll put that there, and fuck. Oh my god, I'm so bad. I don't know. I don't know where to go. I'll do it here in case I get one of those squiggly line thingies. F4. F4. Oh man. Oh man, no. I did so bad. This run was so mid. Mid run. Anyways, let's continue talking about the Cuban Missile Crisis. As a result of Cuba becoming a communist state, this stressed America by a very large amount, resulting in the Bay of Pigs, which was an invasion of Cuba with American soldiers in order to avoid a missile crisis, which kind of already happened, but I mean like thermonuclear war. Speaking of nuclear weapons, that was a what the fuck, dude. Okay. Speaking of nuclear weapons was the main threat, obviously. Some people such as Oppenheimer and Albert Einstein were very key in the creation of the atomic bomb, and this changed the way of conflict forever. There will never be another war without the risk of nuclear threats ever again. And that's really it. Yeah. But the Cold War eventually began to die down after, I believe, George Bush. Yes, George Bush soothed tensions between Russia and America over a large period of time. Some wars directly as a result of the Cold War can be found with Vietnam and Korea being the two major hitters. Specifically, the Vietnam War, for being the first war America had ever lost. Actually lost. This completely changed American morale in terms of war in general. A lot of Americans instantaneously became anti-war. And the usage of the draft was a major shift in trust between the American people and the American government. I could put that right there. Yeah, sure. Like, I don't know. I'll just put, whatever. put that. No way! No way! I'm stupid enough. Oh, thank God! I thought I put that. I thought I put the right block there, but I didn't. Yeah. Thanks to George. Thanks to George Bush, we saw the end of the Cold War. Yeah. That's. I mean, that's really it on the Cold War. There's nothing much to it besides Stalin, and I'll get into Stalin right now, actually, because might as well. So Stalin's rise of power was not unique at all. It was actually very obvious, and I just fucked up. It was very obvious, and everyone knew that it was going to happen. As a result of the failure of the royal Russian family during the Second World War, and their treatment of the Russian people, and failure of the economy and Russian military in every aspect suitable, and losing to Japan on the Eastern Front, while Japan was taking over land during the expansion with the Tri-Axis powers. Okay, fuck. Hanga! Cool. Anyways, I was talking about Stalin. So Stalin's rise in power was very predictable. Almost as predictable as Hitler. Stalin worked within the government, eventually rose to power, and I'm alive? I thought I just got to add. I didn't know I clicked revive. Oh. Okay. I could get 2 lines right here, which I think I'll do. Ooh, I gotta clear this out real bad. I could put that there, get a diagonal there. Oh shit, I almost messed up. What? Oh my god, I messed up again! Fuck! Okay, yeah, Stalin slowly rose through the governmental ranks after the, basement incident with the Russian family. Eventually taking over the entirety of the Russian government and heavily enforcing the communist ideology. There was a secret military, I forgot the name of it, that would enforce communism, such as the Gestapo found with the Italians during World War II, with Mussolini in charge. That would heavily enforce communism, and if you didn't believe in communism, you were either executed or put in a camp, if you're lucky. But going back to Stalin, he wasn't the brightest of the bunch. He wasn't. Never mind. I'm gonna say he wasn't a horrible. No, he was a horrible leader. He was a good military tacticianist. He focused entirely on military, and he did not care about the people. Although the pure communist plan that he had, I believe personally, I kind of forgot what it mostly said because I read it a long time ago, but I believe it treated the people fairly. But he didn't really hold that out for very long before going all, I don't even gotta say it. But you know what I do gotta say? Fuck me, because I just messed up. No, I didn't. Oh, so close to a Tetris! Or a Block Blast! Whatever. Okay. And now, let's talk about before Stalin with the Russian family. Oh, wow. The Russian family was a bunch of failures. Holy. It was bad. It was bad. I gotta put my phone down for this. Yeah, the Russian family was the direct cause of everything to go bad in Russia. Like, the death of the Tsar of Russia, I believe it was, going directly to such a young prince. He had no idea what he was doing. He didn't know how to run the economy. He didn't know how to do anything. In fact, he hired, later on in his years, which eventually was a big distrust within the people. I forgot his name, but they called him the Immortal Man. Rasputin! Yes! Grigori Rasputin. Yes, dude. Okay. Let's start, because I'm kind of yapping in circles here. Let's start from the very beginning with the Russian family. I'll just say the Russian king and the Russian prince because I don't remember their name. The Russian king died at a young age, leaving a very healthy Russian government and plan for the young prince. However, due to the prince being so young, immature, and not knowing how to run an entire country at such a young age, he failed, and he failed miserably. What? Are you actually fucking kidding me, dude? Like, you're such a dick. You're such a dick, dude. How am I supposed to do anything? Never mind. Yeah, leaving it to the Russian prince. And as a result of, over time, as a result of neglect on the Russian people, neglect on the Russian economy, and neglect on the Russian military, Russia slowly began to fall behind. And this caused the first Russian Revolution, which didn't do very much as it was shut down very quickly. And there was I believe it was something massacre, like the White Massacre, where a bunch of people were shot, and as a result, essentially the entirety of the first Russian Revolution ended. No way! Fuck! Dude. Oh my gosh, I'm yapping and I'm selling my Block Blast! Yes, this caused a very bad What is this starting, dude? Okay. I forgot what I was talking about. Fuck. I don't remember. Um, yeah, dude, I don't know. I'm just playing Block Blast right now. I kind of forget that I'm recording. Okay. Let me think. Let me think. Let me get my thoughts together again, because I kind of just zoned out. Um, what was I talking about? It was like, I know it was about the Russian prince, of course, and his neglect. Yes, the first Russian Revolution. Okay. Due to the very quick shutting down of the first Russian Revolution, there was a large distrust within the Russian people and the government. However, the Russian government did not care, specifically the Russian prince, because he was partying and spending all of their money, because he just did not know what to do. Um, no way, no way, I just sold again. Oh no, I didn't. And due to this, over time, specifically during the latter years of World War II, when Russia actually started to lose against Japan and losing some small battles and losing their Western front, uh, Russia became enraged again. And as a result, the Prince of Russia ran, and he actually joined the battlefield. And he was a horrible military tacticianist as a result of doing nothing with military over the entirety of his time being a leader. So he massacred many soldiers and further caused the distrust of the people. So he, after World War II, he was taken out from being in charge. He was forced. He was forced resignation due to his extremely poor performance in uh maintaining the health of the Russian economy. Russian economy, which slowly, very very slowly, gave rise to Stalin. I'm missing these very important things with the governments. During the forming of the second Russian Revolution, there was a split between these two parties. I forgot what they're called, but I think one of them was communist. I'll have to double check and look at my notes and watch Heibler again and again. But I'll have to look and I'll have to make sure, because I mean, no one's gonna see this video anyway. But might as well just make sure I'm right, because I'm kind of using this as a review right now. I will shoot myself if I can't do anything. Yippee! Dude, fuck. I'll do it there. Perfect. Thank you, Black Blast. Dude, okay, if I could get that out, that'd be so nice. Um, yeah, there was a split literally in a house between the two people trying to find out what to do after the prince. And what happened to the prince after his forced resignation was he was forced into uh banishment. He was banished into a city, and eventually, later years, they found him and they assassinated him along with his entire family and children in the basement, which was a big rip in the chat. I'm not gonna lie. That I would say rip Bozo, so I'm gonna say rip Bozo, but you should have cared about the Russian economy, bro. Like, I don't know what you were doing. I know you were a kid when it happened, but like, well, not he was a grown man when the Russian economy was basically the entire time he was in charge. The Russian economy was just shit the entire time. Like, the very moment his dad died, it was just all downhill. Everything's just all downhill. Um, yeah, I think that practically covers most of it. I'm gonna kill yourself. Yeah, I'm gonna I'm gonna probably go and put this in 5x speed now. So goodbye.